Did you know that the tradition of student apprentices studying technique and theory under the guidance of master artists is older than the Renaissance? Do you wish you could experience what that was like to sit in a studio surrounded by art students at every level of expertise and listen to their work as it was being critiqued and guided by masters of their craft? Now imagine you can get that experience every month simply by becoming a Barnstone Patreon supporter. My name is Kat Barnstone Safran, daughter of master artist and educator Myron Barnstone, who for over 35 years instructed thousands of aspiring artists of every age and artistic background. We're carrying on his legacy of classical atelier-style art education through our Master Guide program, and you're invited. Become a Patreon supporter at the $25 or higher level, and you'll have access to the full mentoring sessions between Barnstone students and their chosen master guides. Here's just a short sample of a full-length sessions that you can enjoy every month.
Here we go. So another option for the bottle arrangement is to do something like this, where you have the beer bottle like broken away from the wine bottle. So then that gives you much more space of the wine bottle, so you avoid those like tiny little slivers.
And is that acceptable?
Yeah, that's a lot of people run into this problem where like they're not able to get a substantial enough amount of spacing on the wine bottle, so this is like one of the options. It's not quite ideal, and hang on, let me pull this into Photoshop so then I can start drawing over it to discuss it.
While you're doing that, I'm just going to talk a bit.
All right.
One of the challenges I found when I was trying those tops was the dimensions, the sizes are so small that a pencil width off makes it look really off.
Yeah.
And even in measurements, I kept thinking, well, I kept thinking, maybe I don't have the tools to measure accurately for this size of drawing. But I went through and just did trial and error, because using even the dividers and trying to measure and I got a ruler goes down to 64ths if I need it. But then transferring that into some sort of drawing, I had to just eyeball a lot of it.
Yeah, I think that would be the approach you have to take with it, because the goal isn't to do 100% accurate representation of the bottle. I mean, you want to try to get pretty close to, accurate with the bottle, but really you should be more focused on like capturing the characteristic of the bottle. So you can get away with some inaccuracies as long as you have the bottle accurate enough that it's recognizable. So with the bottle tops, like your latest iterations are like pretty accurate. It's like, okay, yes, that is the bottle top of the Perrier. Then like you have the general shape of like the neck and the general shape of the body. And it's like, if I overlay the actual photo of the bottle onto your line art, like it's, you can start to see how way off it is, but you've captured all the right qualities of the Perrier. So, it works as a drawing. So I think with trying to get like exact measurements, but then having to deal with like the inaccuracy of like the pencil being slightly off, you just kind of might need to trust your gut a little bit more and make like the eyeball decision.
I will move forward with the last drawing I sent you, but if you do have the time to send me the bottle overlay on my drawing so I can learn from that.
Yeah, here, actually, let me, I have this Photoshop document built already. So one thing I want to talk about with can you see my screen all right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So one thing real quick I just wanted to mention about your bottle drawings is just making sure you actually draw your bottle on it, because it was funny, my girlfriend like looked at this and she's like, where is the bottle? Like she couldn't read this drawing because she was just seeing like this shape and like this shape. I think you froze on me. I don't know. I hope your internet didn't go out again.
Please.
Oh, there you are. Okay, I can hear you now. You just like froze for a little bit there. You were saying Myron was saying something in the lessons?
Yeah, over and over. He says, doesn't want to see the outline of the bottle going over. He just wants to see the figures that make it.
Okay, right. Yeah. But still, I would just like make sure your circle is actually legible within that. So yeah, you don't need to do like a final finish like drawing over it, but definitely make sure you are having a consistent sense of hierarchy of your shapes.
Working on that, yes, understood.
Yeah. And then another thing to start making note of in your drawings is like where these cones are intersecting and like where a cone actually starts and then ends at, because that's going to come in handy for the one of the later lessons when you start making these in 3D, because you're going to need to, have this to then make a plane in and do your circle templates at all these intervals.
Correct.
Then, okay, so you want to see the overlay. So, yeah, so we can see like the, you're drawing the neck is still a bit on like the skinny side, and the neck width isn't quite there, and like the body's mostly there if we line up like one edge, but then like the width is slightly off, and then there's distortion from the photo to take into account. So I'm not too concerned about like this being like 1-to-1, but if you put them far enough apart, you can be like, oh yeah, those are the same bottles. As long as you don't see them too closely, then you can see how skinny the neck is. But you have the general characteristics of everything where, there's a cone here, there's another cone, you got the circle, you got the slight taper, and then you got the, the bottom tapering and even more, and the rounded edges. So all the characteristics are there.
Join us in keeping Myron's legacy alive. Join the Barnstone Patreon today. Follow the link embedded below, and you'll get full-length lessons just like these, plus much, much more every month. You'll learn a new, fresh perspective, insight, and technique with every session. We really can't wait to see you there. As Myron would always say, thank you and be well.